Hi, everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, sellers. Say hello. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know that you can hear me. I am so glad to see everybody. Hi, Cindy. Good to see you. So, I want to get right to it and let you know what's going on. So the thing that I labeled this broadcast, never say this, sellers, and I will get to that. What I did want to mention first is, and you all may not, actually you probably do this. But I just want to mention it because I broadcast to a lot of newer sellers, is it has been a bumpy week for me. I don't know about anybody else. And I just want to mention that is, you know what, sometimes as a seller, and most of us are working out of our homes, and most of us are solopreneurs. And what a solopreneur is, it's you. You may have a spouse helping a bit, you may have a partner helping a bit, your kids may help a bit, but bottom line, it's you. Now, some sellers have a much bigger business and they've got warehouses and they've got employees, but still there's an awful lot just on us because it is our business and we are running it. And you know what happens sometimes? Life happens, things happen. I have a large extended family, which is a great, great blessing. But this was one of those weeks where I had a family member who really needed me. And you know what? Family is always first. I'm very blessed with my business. I am very happy to be an eBay seller. I'm very happy to be an eBay coach. But my family is always first. So I had to juggle a lot of things around to meet my commitments. Now, that being said, hey, everybody, that being said, if you find, because we all have different families, if you find your family or family commitments or friend commitments are constantly getting in the way of you doing your business, for instance, it's constantly jeopardizing you getting your shipping out on time or getting your listings done, you really need to take a look at what's going on, which is, setting boundaries, maybe turning the phone off, getting off social media, just letting people know, I love you. And when the door is closed, mommy's working, grandma's working, and I'll be out in a couple hours. Or, seeing the message and just texting the person back and saying, you know what, we'll have a great chat in an hour or two. So, we want to be available to families. We love our families. There's absolutely emergencies and things that come up. And thank goodness we have a home business for most of us, or that it is our business so we can flex the hours to do our family things that we so love to do and to be there for our family members and our friend members. And at the same time, we are running a business. So it's a balance. Okay, I know you know what I'm talking about, but I just wanted to say that because sometimes you can feel like you're alone. You're the only person who gets emergencies. You're the only person that deals with boundaries. You're the only person that's juggling, and you're not. It's something that we all deal with. And at least in my home, what I've learned is when the door is closed, it means I'm working. Unless, of course, it's something that, is really, really, really an emergency. I am always available to my family and to my friends, and they know that. So good evening, everybody. But this is what I wanted to get to because I'm in a lot of Facebook groups. I also run several great groups. So if you're not in eBay Selling Basics, Nothing But Selling Basics, which is for all eBay sellers, come join us. And if you're not in eBay Stores, Nothing But eBay Stores, and you're an eBay store owner, come join us. eBay Stores is a more advanced group. It is for eBay store owners. And then I have a cross-channel group for sellers that sell across many channels like eBay, Etsy, their own websites, online selling, nothing but online selling. So this is something that I caught in several groups, and I've been seeing it a lot over the past few months, which is people jumping in and just saying, oh, my sales are so slow. Is anybody else having really slow sales? And everybody jumps in. Not everybody, but a lot of people start to jump in. Oh, this and oh, that. Oh. I get it. I totally get it. And I think all of us that are eBay sellers, we do go through slow periods. It is ebb and flow of e-commerce. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, when you go into a store, this happens to me all the time in New York. You go into a store, you're maybe one of a couple of people. There's just not a lot of people in the store. So you're browsing around and you're doing what you need to do. And literally, 10 minutes later, there's like 30, 40 people. It's like, where did all these people come from? It's like I'm a shopping magnet. You know, I walk into the store and all of a sudden there's a ton of people. It is the same thing with our eBay business, or if you're on Etsy or your own website. There is a normal ebb and flow. It will also depend on what inventory you sell. Some things are very in demand at one part of the year, and they're not so in demand another part of the year. And I've got a lot of great tips for you. If you just comment LIFE, L-I-F-E, I've got some great tips for you to help you with these kind of situations. So comment LIFE and get your tips. So there's ebb and flow in e-commerce. There's inventory in demand, which is I'm selling something that's in demand. And this is the other thing. I'm selling something that is not in demand. And oftentimes this is very hard for eBay sellers to acknowledge. We're like, well, it sold 6 months ago, or it sold a year ago. And I'll hear this. This sold so well 2 years ago, and my sales are so slow. It's just so slow. You're selling something that was popular 2 years ago. I'm going to give you my Benderball story. My husband, God bless him, was watching TV one night. This is about 3 or 4 years ago, and was watching an infomercial. My husband loves to watch infomercials for a thing called Benderballs. And if you don't know, it's an ab thing. It was this ball that you put in the lower part of your back and you did crunches. I can't remember what it sold for. I'm going to guess like $20, $25. And so he said to me, he said, you know what, I want to order this Benderball. And I said, it's such a stupid, I said, no, this is stupid. You know, you're going to order it and you're never going to use it. He's like, I really want a Benderball. I'm like, okay, let me go on eBay. Let me just check the price because maybe it's much less expensive on eBay. He really wanted the Benderball. I'm like, okay, I'll get you the Benderball. I go on eBay. It's like $50. It's literally double the price that it is on TV. I'm like, get out of here. And I checked the solds, and it was selling for $50. I'm like, hey, this is cool. So I ordered a Benderball for my husband, and I ordered a Benderball for me to sell on eBay. And the Benderballs came, I listed it on eBay, and it sold like that. I'm like, what is going on? Why are they selling so fast on eBay? So I get back on the phone, and I order some more Benderballs. Long story short, I must have sold a couple hundred Benderballs in a few months. This is what the situation was, is that if you bought it on TV, you were put into this subscription program that was incredibly hard to get out of. It was like you had to spend half an hour on the phone getting them to turn off the subscription program. And I think people got wise to that. There's less of that going on. I think the rules on that kind of thing have changed, but it was very, very hard to get out of the subscription program. So, and I probably would have done the same thing. Rather than order it through the TV and then get into the subscription program that you don't want to be in, people are like, to heck with that, and they were just jumping on eBay and buying it. I am not kidding you. I was buying 50, 60, 70, 80 Benderballs and having them delivered to my house, and I was selling them. I was flipping them. It's called retail arbitrage, if you don't know the term, which is you buy something from one source completely legitimately, and then you resell it on eBay for a higher price. That's retail arbitrage. You can do it going into stores like Macy's or Target or Walmart, and you can also do it online, finding items online and then flipping them. Long story short again, is if I was still trying to sell Benderballs, this is like 3 years ago, and I did get stuck with maybe 10 at the end when the price really plummeted, because what happened was the Chinese got wise and they started selling knockoffs, and it was like, forget it, I got to get out of this. So I was stuck with maybe 10 Benderballs at the end. I had made thousands of dollars with Benderballs at that point, so I just dropped my price and got rid of them. So if I was still right now selling Benderballs, I would be losing money because the price has dropped so far and there's so much more competition. And now it's Asian sellers that are selling knockoffs. So I'd be dealing with that situation. And this is what I wanted to say is something can be very hot. Something can be a great seller. And then it changes. This is very frustrating. I know it's hard. I know it's like, oh, here we go again. I have to, do more research. But it is the truth for a successful eBay seller. And it is the truth for any successful e-commerce seller, is that we are selling what we have And there's tips to do that. So comment life, L-I-F-E, and I give you some tips to get your items sold quickly. So we're working on selling what we have. And at the same time, we have to keep our eye out for things that we can bring into our inventory that are trending now. And I know it's a juggling act, but you know what? It is a juggling act. So I'm selling what it is now. And then at the same time, I'm keeping my eye out for things that'll be in demand. This is true whether you are thrifting. This is true whether you're buying out of consignment shops. This is true whether you're doing what is called retail arbitrage that I just explained. This is true if you're doing wholesale. This is true no matter how, if you're making it yourself, okay? It is always true, which is it still in demand? What price is it still in demand? Is there something else similar that is more in demand? So comment life to get those tips for yourself. So that's what I wanted to share with you is life happens. And when it does, thank goodness we have the flexibility that we have with our eBay businesses and Etsy businesses and Amazon businesses. But at the same time, it is a business. So if life continues to constantly intrude, you got to sort of take a look at, okay, what can I do? Can I bring somebody in to help me to get the shipping out? Do I need to sell less? Because there's going to be seasons in your life where you need to scale your business down. Then you may go through a season where all these bills hit and you're like, oh my goodness, I really need to scale my business up and bring in more inventory and get it sold. Listing your inventory is good. And I talk a lot about optimizing your listings. Once it's listed, it helps enormously to get your items sold, to push it out on social media. And if you comment life, L-I-F-E, my tips include some tips for social media for you. Okay? And that's what I want to share with you. Any quick questions? It's so good to see everybody. Oh, Cindy's saying $12 with $5.90 shipping for new Venerables. Yes, and it didn't used to be that. It used to be quite higher. So again, if you catch, and that was the last thing I wanted to say, if you catch a trend, so if you discover this month's Venerables and you find an item that you can get locally or that you can get online and you can double and triple your money on eBay, don't tell the world. Enjoy your find and get it listed and make your money. If it is a very trendy item, like Venerables, fitness is extremely trendy. Clothing can be the same way. Really watch your inventory. This is just me. I would rather err on the side of selling out than get stuck with hundreds of pieces of inventory that I'm then going to have to heavily discount. So if you hit a hot item, yay, that you can source a bunch, yay, go for it. But really, really, really watch your inventory. You're going to need to be checking prices and demand daily and sometimes almost hourly so you don't get stuck, because I don't want you to lose money that way, okay? Great. And how is everybody? Yes, comment, like, get the tips. Good. So life happens, and we're certainly going to deal with that the best way we can with keeping an eye on running a business. And when sales are slow, you've got to immediately look at what is going on. Are your listings optimized? Are you doing social media to help push out? It is not enough just to list your items. Social media is a huge help in getting your items sold, but it needs to be done right. And if you comment life, L-I-F-E, you're going to get some great tips on that. Keep an eye on what's in demand. If it's something, if you get across something that's really, really hot, really, really, really watch your inventory so you don't get stuck. Okay, great. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody. It's great to see you. Bye-bye.